Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back in for another Market Watch investment video for you guys. Have a plethora of things I'm going to be showcasing for you guys. These are going to be my personal selections, and I do hope that you enjoy. Game King's Kickstarter tonight is going to be Legendary Collection 2. So if you guys watch my channel, I'm an avid fan of all the Legendary Collection sets, more particularly Legendary Collections 3, 4, and Legendary Collection Kaiba, but Legendary Collection 2 is no stranger to that. A lot of amazing cards and a lot of amazing rarities. So, and, you know, see here, I'm starting out from low to high because that's kind of like the style I go to when I do like mid to like small range investments personally. I don't really like to go and buy like really super expensive cards. I'd rather spend in bulk and get a lot of more kind of lower end cards, and then, you know, kind of roll the dice and see if they go up and gain in popularity and kind of pinch those off throughout time. So that's just personally what I do. Well, some white Mexican theory for you guys there. So we're going to be looking at some really great cards. Obviously, Gardner, this is like an old school card that was used in Light Sworn. There's also ultimate rare versions, but these are relatively affordable. So let's go ahead and look at some price points. Now, you can see this card's like roughly around a bone, so I'm going to be looking at 3 stacks here. It looks like there is only a single stack of 3 here for first editions. It would not waste your time with the unlimiteds. You always got to go first edition. Unfortunately, there's a $4 shipping charge on here, so that's kind of unfortunate. But there is some onesie twosies available. Plenty of pages after that for the onesie twosies. But in a healthy alternative, the ultimate rare is obviously nicer, but that is it's still very much a secret rare and really nice rarity. Next is going to be Destiny Draw. So this is actually like really underrated for what it is. It's an amazing draw card, and it's just, you know, hero stuff in general. Doesn't look like there's any first editions on the first page here. There's 3 pages of availability, so I'm going to go ahead and switch over to stacks. And unfortunately, there isn't even stacks left for first edition, so that's really unfortunate. Let's see if we can find first editions in general. And it looks like it's roughly around 3-ish bones after you factor in shipping for the first edition. Pretty much eradicated off the market, though. As you can see, there wasn't really many stacked, but this is a really great rarity. This highest rarity that we have on the TCG platform for this card. Really great artwork. It's got the whole dual disc era. And just really great stuff in general. There's actually another secret rare print as well. Raw Yellow Pack and Legendary Collection 2, they were like Legendary Collection 3 and 4. They ran parallel, so that was the other secret rare. So you can see here the Raw Yellow Pack and Legendary Collection 2. So if you can't get either or, try the other one. So obviously the Legendary Collection 2s are really limited, so maybe even check the Raw Yellow Mega Pack. Now technically I think this one's a little bit newer. It's like 1 set newer, so it's like a little slightly, it's like Legendary Collections 3 and 4. Obviously you're going to want to go for the prints, the older prints first, so that would have been Legendary Collection 3 first before Legendary Collection 4, because they had a lot of mirrored rarities in the same card prints. So we're going to go switch over to stacks here. There is a stack here for a bone and a half plus 99-cent shipping for 3. So not really going to fare too much better for this one for stacks, but this is significantly cheaper. And we got a 2-stack here near mint first edition for roughly around a bone before you factor in shipping. Plenty of pages availability. So there is opportunities to still get this very affordably for the high rarity secret rare. Obviously, there's other great rarities as well, like DT. I'm a huge fan of DT, and you have, you know, the original Duelist Pack 5 Ultra Rares, which are going for some pretty good money in general. But all around, like, I love draw cards in general. Draw cards are just really awesome. So there's a lot of awesome stuff. So really quickly, again, I got a couple tabs here that I'm going to go through, but I just kind of want to do a flash review on this. I mean, Phantom Skyblaster, Elemental Hero Neos, I mean, those are good key MVP players. Obviously, I've reviewed these 2 cards here. We got some high rarity secret rare for Glad Beast stuff. We have this Destiny Hero Disc Commander, which was the ban for this longest time. Phantom Chaos, Secret Dandelion. This is highly underrated. I really like this a lot. This is a really nice card to pick up. You know, it's been banned for quite some time. Secret Fisher, Banisher of the Radiance, you know, a healthy alternative to the original Enemy of Justice ultimate rares, and just all around there's just some really killer secret rares in this in general. Great Shogun Xian, one of, you know, I'm really a big fan of Six Samurai. I'm going to dip into that later on in the video. Really awesome, great artwork of Cyber Dragon. So there's like the pages just go on and on. There's just insane value in the set. And if you guys have time, this is just the secret rares. Obviously, there's, you know, ultra rares and super rares and stuff in here, but just kind of wanted to do a flash review so you guys can, you know, spark interest to go check it out. All right, next is going to be Destiny Hero Plasma. This card is really great. Again, I'm not personally like a Hero or Destiny player or anything like that, but I know that there's a lot of like fanboys out there that really like it. This is one card I really do appreciate, more specifically for the 2007 Collector Tin Secret Rare Tin promos, just because it's like really old. and has some really good collectability to it. I would say that would be definitely the best. I mean, there's the Legendary Collection 2 Super Rare, and then there's another Super Rare reprint from Destiny Soldiers, but they're all just kind of like mass produced. Obviously, with this being the highest rarity and being, I think one of like, if not the original print, maybe, I'm not really sure exactly what the original print was for this, but I collect these personally. As we can see over time, collector's tins of the CT type and earlier, I mean, all pretty much, there's just great collectability behind the tin specific secret rare promos as they go out of print, as they get really old. And this card has really good effect, really awesome artwork, and obviously it's a secret rare tin promo, so really great stuff with that. Starting market price for this is already up to 12 bones, starting market price for lightly played. And then if you want near mint, there's 3 pages of availability here. Near mint is going to be all the way up to roughly about 20-ish bones. A little over 20 bones, or maybe like, yeah, 20 bones here. So stacks, there's no stacks. It's been completely cleared off the market for stacks, but all around really great card. And again, not only is this collectible, but it's just a really good card in general. Alright, so next is going to be Elemental Hero Ocean. I want to talk more specifically about the Dual Terminal 5 commons. These are really, really nice, and they're insanely affordable. There's also the Shonen Jump magazine promos, which actually look like these have gone up. You can see like there's like under a bone, but they're actually like around 5 now. So starting market price for lightly played is roughly around 4-ish bones. If you want near mint, it goes to about 6 bones. Let's go ahead and look at stacks. Again, I don't normally like ultra rares, but I do have a thing for Shonen Jump because, you know, they're promos and it's just cool getting, you know, cardboard out of magazines is pretty awesome. So, and they're discontinued now. So, about 8 bones, and then jumps up to 10 for stacks for that one. But alternatively, which is still very nice, if not just as nice, is going to be the Dual Terminal 5. Again, I'm a huge Adamant fan of Dual Terminal. I think that the majority of the player base really appreciates DT. It's a really aesthetically pleasing rarity, and these are just insane. These are all like under a bone here. There's a fat 40 stack here for 60 cents. Plenty of availability. Get this 2 pages plus of stacks. Insane price on this. Really killer artwork. I love the eyes. If you look at this really closely, it's like these like emerald gold eyes, really spooky looking. Kind of reminds me of like eyes, like General Grievous eyes from Star Wars. It's pretty cool. So I think this is a highly underrated card. I've invested in this personally a lot, just because, you know, it's a cool water hero card, and, you know, it's DT. Alright, next is going to be DD Survivor. This brings back a lot of nostalgic memories. Back in the day when I first came back in the game around like the summer of 2011, after graduating high school, I was playing like a DD beater, like Macro Cosmos with like Caius the Monarch and all the DD stuff, and just really classic, and, you know, skill drain, and it was really fun. And this is a really cool card. It's got really cool artwork, and it's relatively old. There's no stacks for the highest rarity of Ultimate Rares, which I'm reviewing here from the Lost Millennium. This is a really nostalgic set. Lightly played unlimited starting market price is around 14 bones. And then if you want first edition, it's going to go up to 40. And there's just completely no near mints here on the market. Very, very old card, very hard to find, probably in near mint, rightfully so. And just really great artwork. And just, you know, it was a really fun deck back in the day. Other than that, there's really not much anything else. There's a rare here, original rare blended with the ultimate, but then everything else is common. So really pretty much stuck with the ultimate rares really being the only desirable print in my personal opinion. Alright, next is going to be Six Samurai Grandmaster. So this has some really cool prints. Obviously, we have the original Secret Rare Strike and Neos. For some reason, this is like insanely expensive, and I don't remember this card like ever not being expensive. They're just insane in value with this. Starting market price is 50 bones starting for near mint. If you want first edition, it goes all the way up to 170 bones for lightly played. If you want near mint first edition, almost 200 bones. Just the Phantom 1 or 200 bones for 195. Only 1 page's availability. Obviously, it is a secret rare, so aesthetically pleasing. Really great card. I love Six Samurais so much. But there also is the dual terminal rare from DT6, which, just like the other with Ocean, this is insanely affordable. I'm going to go switch over to stacks here. There's a 21 stack here for under a bone and a half, roughly a bone and a half here. This even used to be more affordable, as you can actually see this kind of like slipping through now. This is another card that I highly invested in personally, just because 1, it's DT, 2, it's a DT rare, and it's Grandmaster. And Grandmaster has really badass artwork, and it's got a really cool effect, and just slap it on the board, smack for 21, and it's a level 5, so we got some synchro plays, maybe some XYZ plays depending on your extra deck. And again, this is just a really great fan favorite rarity, and it's discontinued, so completely up to you guys on that. I highly recommend this, just like Dark Necrofear and Gravekeeper's Spy. Like, those are some just really killer great DT rares. Let's see, am I going backwards here? Okay, anyway, next is going to be Offering to the Snake Deity. And this is specifically the DT commons from Dual Terminal 3. These are insane value right here. Like, starting market price for stacks is 30 plus bones. Apparently, okay, so it's been refilled on the market a little bit here. So it's about 20 bones for a 2 stack here. And then this is it. Like, this isn't even stacks. This is just all that there is here on the market. Starting market price near mint, 2 stack for 20. Lightly played goes up to 30, and then it goes to 30 plus. And this has been completely like almost eradicated from the market. So this is something that I have a lot of. Unfortunately, they're back in my house in Texas, and I really wish that I had access to them, because I would list these personally, because obviously these used to be like well under a bone a piece, and now they're like insane money. Basically an Icarus tack for reptiles, and obviously we got the new subset that donned all the snake stuff. And anyway, pretty great stuff, so that's good money. Next is non-fusion area. So I think this is kind of a little less known Floodgate here. There's a Legendary Collection 2 set, Dark Rev 4, and then of course the original being Elemental Energy. Unfortunately, they're all common. I think this would look really great as a secret rare personally. Basically just stops fusion summoning. So if you're playing an opponent, it's really situational. Obviously, there's not like too many crazy decks running fusions right now. I mean, obviously we have like Shadow Invoke, that's always kind of a thing, and back in the day, like Thunder Dragons and all that, but obviously Colossus is not on the board right now. But this is just a really great, this could be a really like good one-sided condition against your opponent, and I just really like this card a lot. Obviously, it's just a common, so it's going to be extremely affordable. Lightly played first edition copies are 3 stack for here under a bone, 30 cents. If you want near mint first edition, we're going to keep on strolling along here, and it's about a half bone. Well, yeah, about a half bone here for 6, but plenty of opportunities to get it. 5 plus pages of stacks of 3 plus, so really awesome card in general. Alright, next is going to be Magical Musketeers. So if you guys don't learn anything else from this video, I really hope that you guys take away this piece of knowledge. Magical Musketeers is an extremely underrated deck. This is personal white Mexican theory. This is just how I personally feel. This is a really fun deck to pilot. The mechanics behind this deck is really insane. It has a very unique and special mechanic that allows you to play magics and traps from your hand with the monster effects, which is really cool. There's a lot of recycling in this deck, and like each card has like pretty like variants of ranges of effects, and the artwork is really cool. I mean, Starfire and Caspar are like just complete badasses, and they do a lot of great stuff. And again, this is just a really fun deck, and it's not necessarily like a insanely competitive deck, but you can blend it, and the sheer fact that it has this very techy engine that allows you to play your magic and traps from your hand is just really great, very unique. There isn't really any other deck that I can personally remember or think of that has that ability. That's a really great advantage. Really kind of hard to get over under certain situations. And overall, it's not a very expensive deck. I mean, we can see here, like towards the bottom, the Cross Domination is the most expensive card, starting market price of 10 bones for European Italians here, about 9. But then after that, for stacks, it's a near mint first editions are 10 bones. So this is the most expensive card. Like, this is it. If you want to take away stacks, it's roughly around the same price if you take out stacks. But obviously, you're going to need 3 of these, high rarity, secret rare. But and the level 1, like this level 1 is really good. Unfortunately, they made it the most disgusting rarity of all time here, which is severely unfortunate, but it has really cool artwork, and it's just insanely cheap, and it has a killer effect. Like if you guys pause the video and read this, it's a solo print too, so kind of be aware of that. And you know, it's roughly around 2-ish bones per you factor in shipping. Let's do stacks, because obviously you're gonna want to probably run multiple copies of this. I personally run multiple copies. I like it a lot. So about 3-ish bones a piece, and there's plenty of stacks of availability here. So that really helped the deck a lot. And again, like it has the ability to be blended with other like deck archetypes and cores, and I've seen it before, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's also a light fiend base, which is really cool. Fiends are usually dark attribute, but these are light, so that's kind of another unique factor. But again, all around, this is relatively affordable. And I've stocked up, like I've for quite some time I've stocked up, because really outside of Caspar and Starfire, these haven't really had reprints. They're all the original supers and secrets, and this is just a really fun affordable deck archetype. So if this grows to popularity, the prices are going to increase, especially with the limited printing. So completely up to you guys on that. Some Six Samurai stuff is going to be next. So Magatama is going to be next. We have, you know, the original rares, Storm of Ragnarok, and then we also have the super hollow foil reprints out of Spirit Warriors. Obviously, this being a higher rarity, now I wouldn't discredit the original first editions rares, because you know those are like OG, but these are very, very affordable. I mean, stacks start at like under a quarter bone for New first edition, and you know it is the highest rarity of super rare, which is pretty nice. So this is just an awesome Six Samurai card. Next is going to be Gateway to 6, so the infamous most like hated card back in the day. Used to run these at 3 when Shein was just completely just streamboarding and negating 3 and just doing all these crazy shenanigans. Obviously, we have the original super rares out of Stardust Overdrive, which are going for pretty good money, especially for the first editions. For starting prices for stacks here, lightly played unlimited is roughly around 2 bones. There is a stack of first edition lightly played, but those go all the way up to 15 plus bones, and then there's this shady $5 extra additional uselessness here at the bottom. If you take off stacks, it gets a little bit more affordable, 3 pages of availability, but there's just the first editions are really like rough to come by. Starting market price for a single stack for lightly played first edition is 11 bones. So pretty steep prices to pay for the original OGs, obviously a lot harder to get, but safe to none. There is a super rare reprint out of Spirit Warriors, and personally, even though it seems, you know, kind of, you know, crappy or whatever have you, it is still very much the same rarity of a super rare hollow foil. It does still come with the first edition stamp here, and this is just like a bazillion times more affordable. We can see there's Italian, European Italians here just stacked for under a half bone for Near Mint First Edition. Then we have some English ones starting at half bone here, the fat stack of 28 for Near Mint First Edition. So just insanely more affordable. The exact same rarity, just has a different set name. So personally, I highly recommend that you guys would go for this over spending all the additional funds. I mean, I understand OG print and collectability purposes, and me personally, I am a really big Six Samurai fan, so I totally, you know, get if you want to go, you know, try to fight tooth and nail to get the originals, but I think it's a safer bet to just go ahead and get the same rarities at a lot more affordable prices. Next is gonna be Asceticism, which again, kind of like this, following the trend of this set, the original rares, first editions out of Storm of Ragnarok, no discredit to that, but Spirit Reapers donned a super rare, which is, you know, it's very affordable as well. I mean, it's pretty much a bone all across the board. For even stack share, we can see stack share, not as many stack shares. We can see it's kind of dwindling in numbers, so be a little bit careful on this one. But really great artwork, really great effect. It lets you go streamline right into your synchro plays. And again, this is just, you know, it's the updated hollow foil of a super rare, and it's relatively affordable. So awesome on that. Doji is going to be next. This is still to the day a solo print secret rare, which is really nice, out of Spirit Warriors. Pretty cool effect on this. It's like a, I don't even know what this is, but it's got, you know, like a rifle, and it's doing some sniping, which is pretty cool. Limited quality on the stacks here. I'm going to go ahead and refresh to make sure that this is updated. So looking at stacks, lightly played first edition is roughly around 2 bones for a 3 stack. Near mint is roughly around 2 bones for a 7 stack. And this is like 2 bones for this. I think this is like relatively affordable, honestly. Seeing especially how this is the only way you can get it. It's a solo print on a Spirit Reapers as a secret rare, and the effect is like not like amazing, but it is relatively good. And it's just nice that Six Samurai's got a little bit of new support in this, so something to consider. Next is gonna be Fuma. So Dual Overload produced at ultra rares, which are just like, you know, dirt cheap. They're insanely cheap, as they should be, because, you know, we got this whole issue right here. But it's a lot more affordable than the original secrets. I mean, these are like a quarter for near first edition, even for stacks. And then we have the original secret rare prints, which for a while was a solo print, just like Doji. But now we got some Italian ones here for 2 bones, and then the first English ones for stacks start at 4 bones. So it's completely up to you. Really cool artwork, pretty good effect too. I love like the throwing stars and all this. Now it's like a level 1 tuner and all that. So something to consider. United, 6 Samurai United is going to be next. So obviously there's the Turbo Pack Booster 5. Super rares, which are, you know, pretty good money for what it is. I mean, starting market price for stacks is 17 bones a piece for lightly played. Near mint goes all the way up to 25. Apologies, I can't do math. And if we take off the stacks, that's still pretty much the same prices. So, not as much as it used to be, but still really good money. And then obviously we have the original Phantom Darkness, which is a very infamous set. Phantom Darkness and Light of Destruction are one of my all-time favorite sets. Like I guess what was that, like GX? Was it GX era? I'm not really sure. I can't really follow the timeline that well. I wasn't playing during this era, unfortunately, but these had like some of the most killer light and dark cards came out of those 2 sets, and really great infamy behind that. Spirit Warriors obviously donned another super rare copy, which again is still pretty good money too. Here we can see starting market price is for near mint first editions. There's a 2 stack here for 2 bones. If we switch over to 3 stacks, there's some more Italian stuff for roughly around a little over 2 bones for a 4 stack of first edition near mint. Then English prints start at, you know, for near mint first edition, it's roughly around 4 bones. So this is actually pretty good money for the stacks, and I mean, this is a really good card, really great artwork, you know, nice that got the mirrored rarity of super rare, and good draw power. Next is going to be Dojo. Again, same treatment, original Extreme Victory super rares and the Spirit Warrior super rares. So we'll go ahead and check out the original OG prints first. Going ahead and looking at stacks, there is a single stack of your first edition near mint. Starting market price is 8 bones for that. If we take away stacks, lightly played first edition is about 3 bones before you factor in shipping, and then if you want near mint first edition, it goes to a little bit over 4 bones. 3 pages of availability on that. Obviously, there was the mirrored super rare, so if you want to go, which is actually still, you know, pretty much just about the same here, which is actually really surprising. About the same market price here. We have stacks of Italian European here for 4 bones for near mint first edition, and then let's see if we can get some English first editions, 4 bones for near mint first edition on those. So really good money on this. So there is all around, it seems like, I don't know, maybe there's like a trending 6 Samurai stuff is going up. People are starting to pick up on this. So one of the MVPs back in the day, not really so much anymore because obviously this has gone up. I remember buying secret rare Sheehan's first edition near mint when Spirit Rivers first dropped. Like, I knew that this was going to be a big, well, I projected, I can't say I know, nothing's for certain, but I projected that this was going to go up, and here we see it's going for some really good money now. It's like 8 bones here. We can see for starting market price for stacks, for there's all these Italian, I don't know, it's like Italy taking over TCG players, all these Italian listings. It's pretty cool. You know, I like European cards. It's just kind of interesting that there's a lot, I guess, Italian people like 6 Samurais. So English starts for about 7 bones for near mint first edition. If we take off the stacks, it's still roughly around the same thing. Near mint first edition, about 7 bones for a 2 stack here, 3 pages of availability. So I remember paying for like a half a bone and like a bone for these, and I've bought pages and pages of these because they're just it's high rarity, secret rare. This is my all-time favorite level 5, one of my all-time. Well, no, I would say, yeah, definitely by far. I'm a pretty relatively big 6 Samurai fan. And really cool artwork, and just, you know, the sheer fact, especially back in the day, how you could have so much control of negating not only a magic or a trap, it was really, really cool. 2500 beater, so just really awesome stuff. Obviously, there we have the ultimate rares, which are really, really, really great. Still, personally, I'm trying to hunt down some first edition copies myself. I don't even know if I have any ultimate rares in general. If I did, they would be first edition, because I really just don't really invest in unlimited stuff personally myself. Obviously, we have the ultra rares and the super rares, which are actually going for good money too in general. So all across the board, this is going for some pretty good value. But personally, for the price, obviously I think the secret rares would be ideal. And who knows, I mean, they're dwindling on the market, so they'll probably just continue to increase. Next is going to be Constellar Belt. This is just a random continuous magic card that got a rarity update to super rare out of Spirit Warriors. Basically just defend your light monsters effects. They can't be negated. So really simple, really quick, pretty spacey, tripping out. What's it called? Artwork. We see obviously all the Constellar stuff being showcased here. Obviously this isn't the only deck that you can utilize this. There's a lot of light based attribute decks that you can utilize this with, and just, you know, fun safety continuous magic card. And this is insanely cheap. I mean, stacks for near mint first edition are like not even a quarter, as you can see here. Plenty of availability, really great stuff. Next is going to be Poisonous Winds. So this has this is a solo print. This is a solo print common out of Photon Shockwave. Very, very old set. And this is pretty insane. No one can switch one Wind Monsters. Wind Monsters do 500. And of course, it's like a continuous magic floodgate. Pretty cool artwork here. This really would look good in a secret rare. And I think this is deserving of a secret rare. I think it's still to the day. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty unique how it's still a solo print. It's pretty cool. But I think that this would look really nice in a secret rare updated hollow foiling. But this is a really good floodgate. You know, there's not really too many Wind Monsters decks out there, but we usually, like, every once in a while, like maybe like Harpies or maybe Psychic. Sometimes Psychic based stuff is Wind, but you know, who knows? You never really know what's going to be the next big meta. And this is insanely affordable. We can see starting market price for stacks is like a quarter for near mint first edition. So obviously it's just a common 5+ pages availability, but still very much a solo print and has a really strong effect. Alright, so next I want to talk about the Cyber Style Successor, which is, you know, also the Cyber Strike structure deck, which is coming out here in a couple months. It's not the next structure deck. It's going to be the structure deck after the Egyptian God card structure deck. But this is I'm really excited about this. And, you know, this is some white Mexican theory. I have a really big, you know, kind of edge on me personally. I believe I'm kind of like going into like eBay or Amazon or TCG Player, whatever platform that you want, and buying in bulk, buying cases of first edition sealed structure decks, like pre-ordering them, because usually when we pre-order online, you can usually get them more affordable than even the standard 10 bones per deck box. And they as time goes on, it's usually around like the 1 year mark after the production or the release of the structure deck, they start to increase in value. They start to get hard to find. They start to just completely like get eradicated from the market. And they, at that point, and as they continue on to get older and harder to get, they become like basically sealed collector's items. I personally don't invest a lot in sealed product, but this is a really affordable way to collect really nice sealed product. And sometimes we can see, like, even in like Soul Burner, Ash Blossom, and Joyous Spring, the first edition commons are like 20 bones plus now, which is insane. And obviously, like stuff like Zombie Horde, there's a lot of solo prints and Zombie Hordes that are still holding some really ridiculous price points, which is pretty awesome. But the announcement of the reprints in Japan, so they donned common versions. I believe they're common versions here. As of Impermanence and Lightning Storm, which is just insane. Like, this is obviously like just crazy. These are not Impermanence isn't a solo print, but this is technically a solo print because all we have is Starlight and Standard Secret, and it's just like ungodly expensive. Really great utility card. So hopefully, I'm hoping just for Sevenfold. I mean, who knows? We don't know if the OCG. The OCG and the TCG don't always follow suit, obviously, but just the sheer fact that there's potential that maybe we would get these, even if we got them as commons in the structure deck, that would just continue to sevenfold and just compound the amount of value and the interest that is going to be surrounded with the structure deck. So I'm really excited about this. I can't even find this on eBay. There used to be a seller that had some that was pre-ordering them, but they're completely sold out, and now there's just these European ones that are like way like overpriced. So obviously it's still far out, so there's going to be time for us to have an opportunity to pre-order, but I'm really excited about this. So 30 July We're going to get it. So in a couple months, we're going to get it. And I just keep an eye on this. Like, beyond hopefully getting those really nice reprints, this is very much Cyber Dragon support and, you know, Cyber Dark. But there's a lot of Cyber Dragon players, and they're like hero players. They're really big into it, and they love their Cyber Dragons, and they're hardcore fans. And this is just going to become just like Shadal's Showdown, just like Soulburner, just like Zombie Horde. They're going to become valuable structure decks, especially over time as they become collector's items. You know, you buy them in bulk, keep them sealed, make sure you get first edition, all that great stuff, and then, you know, pre-order so you can get, you know, the dock price. Really, really great stuff. So I'm really excited about this. You definitely want to keep your eyes out for this product. So the last thing I want to talk about is some Lightsworn stuff and kind of whatever else I have going on over here. So I love, again, Light Destruction was one of my all-time favorite core sets. I really like the mechanics and kind of the engine behind Lumina or Lightsworns, and they blend well with a lot of stuff, and they're really fun. They have cool artwork, cool rarities and stuff. So obviously there's the Champion Pack Super Rare, which is like, you know, kind of untamable. It's, you know, really expensive, and, you know, it's the highest rarity and hardest to get, technically, like hardest to get, not the highest on the hierarchy. So there's a couple ultra rares. There's the original rares. It's kind of sad that this came as an original rare. I wish they kind of gave it the Raikou treatment, because it's definitely, you know, just as good as Raikou, if not better. So they should definitely made this a super rare as opposed to a rare, which I actually do want to take a look at this, because, you know, even though it is just like a lowly rare, this is very much the original print. So I'm curious what the stacks are for first editions exclusively. Lightly played, it's about a bone, and then there's the, you know, this lame shipping of 3 bones here. So pretty much almost gone off the market for the original prints, but that's okay, because personally, even though it's not aesthetically pleasing to a certain extent, Raw, Yellow Mega Pack, and Legendary Collection 2 don these ultra rares, which look completely superior to the Battles of Legends. The Battles of Legends ultra rares came out just very cheaply made, just did not look very good in general, and, you know, ultra in general is just pretty relatively disgusting. But personally, I would go for these versions myself. Obviously, you want to go for Legendary Collections 2 first, because these are the older ones, but these are just completely gone. There is no stacks of this available, so it's a little bit more competitive. The first edition lightly played is around 2 bones. There's only 2 pages of availability, so this is pretty much cleared out, but safe to assume you can get the mirrored ultra rare out of Raw Yellow. And there should be a little bit more of availability here on this. Let's see if we can find some stacks. There is 2 stacks of first editions, and they're about this stack for lightly played first edition is a little under 3 bones for a stack of 7. So that's very much available. And, you know, 5 pages of availability. So just, you know, an all-around great card. Next is going to be Wolf. So again, there is this got like Raikou treatment. It got the original super rare Stunning of Light Destruction, which, even though it is just a super rare, this by far is the most valuable, the most collectible, and the most aesthetically pleasing personally to me. Now, I understand there's ultra rares, but this goes a lot more in depth for value personally for me, and just kind of in general. Starting market price for this, or even lightly played unlimiteds, is like 4 bones. Near mint goes up to 5+. Only 2 pages of availability. No first editions on the first page. Only 2 pages of availability. The first edition we get goes all the way up to almost 13 bones, which is actually a 3 stack, which is pretty cool. So this, just like Raikou, you'll see here for the original first editions, are just like insanely good value. Really great artwork. And again, it's just part of a really great engine, which is Lightsworn. And then, you know, we got the crappy Battles of Legends reprint, and then we got, just like Lumina, the mirrored ultra rares from Raw Yellow and Legendary Collection, which are relatively affordable, so you guys can check those out. Really, really great stuff. Next is going to be Judgment Dragon, the big boss of himself. So really not much to choose from here. Besides the Dual Saga Ultra Rares, those are relatively nice. Apparently there's a Starfall rare, but this was a tournament prize card, so kind of untamable, not really a lot. Obviously we have the big macros here with the secret rares and the ultimate rares. Personally, I would much rather have a first edition secret original Light of Destruction as opposed to this ultimate rare. Even though this ultimate rare looks very, very nice, it looks kind of dark in this picture. It looks better personally up in person, but for stacks, well, actually not even stacks here, this isn't just insane. I mean, 350 bones starting market price near mint. and there's 2 stacks of 2 here, so insane, just insane value with the JD Ultimate. Go ahead and take a look at the OG Secrets, which personally I think are the most aesthetically pleasing. These look really great. Unlimited lightly played, 70 bones. Near mint goes up to almost a Phantom under 80. There's 3 pages of availability. No first editions on the first 2 pages. We get our first edition lightly played for 160 bones. And then there is a 3 stack of near mint first edition for 286 bones plus 150 shipping. So insanely old, insanely nostalgic, really great artwork, amazing rarity, amazing effect, just all around a really great card. So last thing, we're going to go ahead and check the Duel Sagas. Realistically, I feel like this is the only reprinted version that is like aesthetically pleasing to really kind of invest in and kind of go after personally. Unless you want to just go like full on like dirt style and get commons and play with commons. I mean, that's completely up to you too. I mean, because you don't want to. There's nothing wrong with playing when it comes to like actually dueling. There's nothing wrong with playing low rarity. Like personally, like that's what I do. Maybe not like the lowest rarity, but I don't like. You're not gonna see me playing like my first edition ultimates and my first edition original secrets and all that. Like that's just too much money to play with personally. I collect them. I'll keep them in like a binder and stuff or like top loaders, but you're not gonna see me playing with that stuff. That's crazy. But teach their own player preference. So these are like roughly around 2 bones, and fun fact of the day: Duel Saga only came first edition. You'll never see any unlimiteds. You can see these are all first edition. If something is listed unlimited, that's like just an error. The whole set in general came first edition, so it's one of those cool sets that there is only first edition prints. And let's go ahead and look at stacks. So lightly played first edition, roughly 2 bones. Near mint first edition is almost around 4 bones. Those are Italian ones. And then it just continues to kind of trickle on here. So this would really be like the ideal choice. Really the only thing we have to substitute for the original secret and ultimate rare. Next is going to be Raiko himself. So there is a star foil for this from Epic Dawn, which I think is relatively undervalued. We're looking at stacks here. Lightly played first edition, there's a stack of 3 here for 40 cents. Then near mint first edition, again about a half bone. So there is availability for stacks. Only 1 page here, so you gotta quickly dwindling. But this, as opposed to super rare, I think this is a healthy alternative. Obviously, everyone's gonna want the original super rare first editions, but they are relatively hard to get, and the price reflects that. So this would be kind of an ideal alternative. And keep in mind, these do come unlimited, so you want to make sure you go specifically for the first edition, specifically for the star foils. And then we have pretty much maybe the Gold Series, but really, again, Gold Series 2008, 2009, Gen 1, 2, and the Ghost Golds hybrids are really the only ones that I personally, thought are really worth going after, like, because they're the only ones that are really aesthetically tolerable, in my opinion. So for the original print, lightly played unlimited, we're looking at about 5+ bones, and then near mint is 10 bones. There is 2 first editions here. Lightly played is 15, and first edition is double for 30 bones. So insane value on this little super rare card, which is really fun. Love the artwork, great rarity. Again, light instruction, really awesome set, really awesome decor. Honest is gonna be next. So someone told me, I don't know if this is true, but someone told me that they're making like a dishonest, which is basically gonna be honest, but like for dark cards, which I think is gonna be really cool and exciting. I don't know, it was like a long time ago, and I don't know if they're just kind of like pulling my leg or whatever, but I kind of like that would be really cool. I think that's like well overdue. Obviously it would be like really good, but I mean, we have it for lights, so like why can't we get one for dark? Like Konami really needs to get on making a dark honest, or they can call it dishonest, dishonest because it's dark and it's evil and it's bad, and I don't know, that'd be really cool. So we have a lot of amazing rarities in this. Obviously, we have the OG Ghosts. We got some OG Secret Rares, which are going for like ungodly, prices. But healthy enough alternatives is going to be the DT7. These unfortunately have gone up, and rightfully so. These are amazing. Not only are they DT, they're DT rare, dawning on a 7. And this just looks really great. This is a really awesome card. Obviously, there's an abundance of light support and decks out there. And starting market price for this for lightly played is going to be about 6 bones. Near mint's going to go up to about 7. There's 2 pages of availability. If we switch over to stacks, there's just no stacks available, unfortunately, for this print. If you're not going to get the DT rare, there is the, of course, Duelist Saga. It's kind of, like mine to go to. Duelist Saga and DT kind of run together because they're both technically, to a certain extent, discontinued rarities. And for stacks, just from a European Italian, Europeans are no stranger to blend over to the fairies now. Is 4 bones, and then English, again, near mint first edition is roughly around 4 bones as well for 4 stacks. So completely up to you guys on that. Really, that's pretty much it. If you're not going to get DT or Duelist Saga, those are really going to be your only real good options outside of the collectible secrets and ghosts. So maybe we'll get another secret rare reprint, maybe in like the next Battles of Legends or something. That would be pretty cool, but an all-around really great card. I like to use that card in my Successor Knights. I'm a really big Successor Knight fan. Alright, so next is me more Six Samurai stuff. So we have Double-Edged Sword Technique. This actually got a super rare reprint out of Spirit Warriors, which is really quite affordable. But earlier than that, from Raw Yellow Mega Pack, we got the Ultra Rares, which, surprisingly enough, actually look really, really sharp. It looked really sharp and crisp. Pretty nice here. Looking at stacks, we see Near Mint First Edition. There's a 4-stack for under a half bone here, so insanely affordable on this. And this is a really needed card. This is a really needed card for your synchro plays, and it's just a classic play in this deck. And this is, it's got good artwork, and again, I'm just a really big fan of Six Samurais. It's kind of like National Six Samurai Day. I'm doing like a lot of coverage on Six Samurais, but there is also the original Gladiator Salt Commons, first editions. I wouldn't discredit those. Really great for playability specifically, so you can like beat them up and all that. But the Ultra Firsts are so affordable. Those are also like a really healthy alternative as well. Next is going to be D-Prison. So this is, like, back in the day, this was such a staple card. It's kind of sad to see, like, these older, like, Gen 2 and 3 cards really wash out of play. But it's power creep, just kind of the way of the game. They kind of just, like, go away after a while and kind of get replaced. And who knows, maybe this card will come back. The big limiting factor on this is the targeting. I think they changed the wording where, like, this used to not target, but then they change it so it does. But ideally, the World Championship 2008 DS game super rare promos are going to be the most aesthetically pleasing and the most sought out after. Highest rarity technically per se. Stack starting market price is going to be around 13 plus bones for lightly played. Then near mint goes all the way up to 50 bones somehow. So this has insane value for the stacks. I don't really know. I don't think this is justified. Like, this card looks cool and it's old and all. It's got good history, but it's not like 50 bones good. Like, that's pretty wild. Lightly played here again, 13 bones, and then there's a lightly played here for 35. So this is just completely like almost wiped out of market again. Probably just because it's a hard to get, because it is a game promo way back in the day. I mean, we're looking at like 13, almost 13. Well, almost, but yeah, 12. Yeah, like 12, 13 years old card, a really old card. Obviously, we have the Legendary Collection 2 and Raw Yellow Mega Pack Ultra Rare reprints, which are very healthy alternatives as opposed to the super rares. So you guys can decide amongst yourselves what you want to do with that. Next is going to be Macro Cosmo. So ideally, my personal recommendation is the Dual Terminal 6. This, just like a lot of other Dual Terminal cards, used to be insanely cheap. When I was living in Japan, I remember picking like this up in bulk. Like, I probably have like, I don't know, at least like 30 copies of this. Like, I love Macro Cosmos. Again, I used to play, Trip Skill Drain, Trip Cosmos, and, Beater anti-meta deck, and it's really fun. Still to the day, this is limited on the list, unfortunately. Just a completely blowout floodgate. And it's 5 bones, pretty much 5 bones all across the board. We can see even stacks here near mint is a little bit, about a phantom under 5.5 bones. And there's 3 pages of availability. So ideally, even though it is a lot more expensive than what it used to be, I mean, the card used to be like under a bone a piece. It was insane. I was like copping it up like crazy. The Raw Yellow and Legendary Collection 2 are very much really great alternatives for first editions exclusively. And then obviously for the Dark Rev lovers, there's a super rare, which is going for some really good money as well. Next is going to be DD Crow. This is an amazing hand trap. This is right up there with Effect Veiler and Ash Blossom and Ghost Ogre and all that. There's some amazing rarities. There's obviously the DT versions, which are going for some pretty good money. We have the original Ultimate rares from Strike and Neos, which is an amazing set. And then the Starlight rares. For the Starlight rare, you know, I don't like Starlight rares, but, you know, I just don't think they look aesthetically pleasing, personally. Like, they look like a kind of like a fake sticker. I don't know. I don't want to be like a Debbie Downer, but it's cool that we have Starlight rares because it brings kind of a whole new aspect to like the collector's market. But these are no ghost rares. They're no ultimate rares. I would take an ultimate rare first edition or an ultimate first edition ghost over a Starlight rare first edition like any day. Like, it's kind of like how it is, like, for me personally. But the DTs are going for great money. I think what's kind of not really thought about is the super rares. Again, Raw Yellow Mega Pack and Legendary Collection 2 both don mirrored super rares for first editions exclusively. These are my ideal cards I like to play and collect and just have in general. I really like my hand traps and super rares. Next is going to be Thunder King Rio. This in general is just going for some really crazy numbers. Even the commons we see here are going for like 5 bones plus. We have the crap golds here, the secrets, the Turbo Pack Ultimate Rare, which is going insane. People like kind of forget about this. This is basically a mistake on legs with a 1900 beater. Obviously, it's a light and it's a level 4, so really great, you know, abilities to go into your rank 4s. I'm a huge avid fan of anti-meta, so this is just an insanely good card in general. Windwitch Ice Bell is going to be next, so this is going to be the reprinted secret rare version out of Shadows of Valhalla. Shadows of Valhalla is one of my all-time favorite reprint sets of all time. I mean, naturally it's a subset. It brought its own kind of set to the table, but there's some really, really killer artwork, or not artwork, but really killer reprints in this. More specifically, like obviously super rare Ash Blossom is really great and it's worth a lot of money and kind of always will be. It's just an amazing card in general, but there's a lot of amazing reprints, so I really recommend that you guys check this set out. But this is just insanely cheap. It's pretty much like 2 bones across the board, like even when we switch to stacks. Near mint first edition is going to be 2 bones for a 3 stack here and kind of trickles up after this. 3 pages of availability. This is still very much a combo. The whole Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which is another just really infamous synchro card for its day. Really awesome effect, really great artwork, and this is very much part of that combo. It's not, Windwitch is not like the only play, but it's just one of their plays, and obviously they got support not too long ago. So, and this is a really great rarity, and it has really great artwork. So this, just like Invoker, how Invoker jumped up with the play of kind of switching back to Invoke Shadal, I really think that this is not going to be 2 bones forever. Next is going to be Monster Gate. So I kind of get Monster Gate and Reasoning a little like tripped up because they pretty much essentially do the same thing, but with Monster Gate you have to tribute a monster, so it kind of makes it a little bit more crappier, but kind of doesn't at the same time, depending if you want to pitch something off to the graveyard. Not really sure. Obviously Reasoning is a lot older, you know, goes way back to Generation 1 for Honor Guard, and we got first edition commons, and then sadly enough there's no super rare or super hollow foils in general. Like, there's just, we have the original commons first edition, which are like relatively, you know, expensive, and then there is a star foil, I want to say. Well, there's like this crap gold, but we, you know, no one talks about crap gold. There's Mosaic, which is just not good either. I don't think it looks good. Here's the one right here. It's a star foil, and this is really good money. Starting market price near mint first edition is almost 10 bones for stacks here. If I take off stacks, it's going to be about 9 bones, but it's really not too much of, you know, crazy in abundance, especially for the stacks. A really great card, really great artwork. I love cardboard on cardboard artwork, so hopefully we get a I don't know, maybe, I don't know, I can't tell, maybe, like, I guess this would look good in like any hollow foil, but not ultra. Like, I really hope that when this gets, if this gets reproduced in a reprint, that it's secret rare. Personally, I think this is good enough for a secret rare. This has been around long enough, and this has seen so much play throughout the generations. I think this is very entitled to a secret rare reprint, personally. Going back to Monster Gate, there's a couple different variants. There's the Mystic Fighters Dawn, a super rare, which is insanely cheap. There's also a Starfoil rare from Epic Dawn for this one, which I would, you know, take into consideration. These are probably, ideally, because of the price, this is so affordable, because the Duelist Saga one is not like pricey, but it's a couple bones. This one's a bone pretty much all across the board for even stacks here for near mint first edition. So ideally, I think this specifically for the first edition star foils would be ideal. But then of course you do have the Duelist Sagas, which do look very, very nice, and obviously those are like holographic foil, but you're just going to pay more money. I mean, their starting market price is pretty much like four-ish, like around 4 bones here. There's some Italian ones, and then it's 5 bones for the English prints, and these are for stacks. So completely up to you guys on that, but some just really all-around great cards in general. It's completely deck specific on what you guys want to do with that, so hopefully we'll see some pretty great reprints with that. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Link below is going to be to my Facebook. Any of you guys can add me, message me. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! It's been part of my life for almost 2 decades. I feel extremely compassionate about this game. I love the deck building, the brotherhood, the friendship. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Community is such an amazing place. I'm so proud of being part of this community. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day and making some amazing Yu-Gi-Oh! Investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I'll see you in the next video.